Hello again, everybody. This is Amergan, and you're very welcome back to another Star Trek Fleet Command and part 2 of this faction expansion, the augments, and the quest to get the Botany Bay. So we're straight into this second set of missions here, guys. Over in another system. We're in Midnight 19. I believe Amador could possibly be the other system to go to, but certainly Midnight is the system I've gone to. We're about to take on some of these. There's prerequisites in terms of those previous missions they're required. So we have all of them done, of course. If you watched the last video, you've done them all with me, I'm sure, and we're all up to this point or past it. And we're taking on these 4 sets of missions in Midnight 19. So we can see some of the rewards there. There's going to be choices to be made during the course of these as well. We'll see what those are. And we're dealing on this one with Otto. He has his own little bit of a side story. And we'll accept this. And this is Joaquin, who gets his own little bit of a side story as well, and presumably all the crew members that join will get their own little bit of a personality and their own little bit of a side story here to familiarize us with them. So this is Joaquin's one. And we'll accept this one as well. And you can see all of these have the Botany Bay blueprints as rewards. So there's 24 in all available. Add that to the 12 that we got, is 36. So everybody who's going free to play or not buying packs will be in this position of having 36 blueprints by the end of all of these mission storylines, with then another 24 to obtain, with 6 presumably being available each day in the faction store. And that would mean after 5 days, 4 days in fact, 5 if you include the day that you spent doing all of this, and then you will have the Botany Bay. So reports coming in, guys, from others on the founder server, some of you guys who have gone out and bought the pack. There's a pack available for in and around the $20 mark, I believe. You can buy these blueprints and speed up your progress if you so wish. Personally, I'd rather go down the free-to-play road just to demonstrate to you guys the difficulties in obtaining this stuff if you don't have very deep pockets. I know the vast majority of the player population spend minimal amounts on this game, so we'll try to cater to you guys who are not spending. So there's the 12 blueprints on that Botany Bay, and the 300% mining bonus for the corrupted and decoded data. So some of you guys who have subscribed to me and are following some of my videos, and some of the guys in my Discord and in my alliance and all of that, they've been feeding a little bit of information to me, and it seems as though this isn't a great ship, but it's needed to advance these certain missions. Reports from certain guy. I want to give a shout out to Psychosis in Hom there, who's telling me that for him and a few others, faction ships and perhaps upgraded Envoys or ECS Horizons may actually be a better ship for mining this corrupted data and things like that. So I'll test that myself when I get to that stage. It's going to be a couple of days yet. This is the officer that's available through the loyalty chests. A shout out to some of you guys for looking at that. I agree completely with some of your comments, saying it's going to take months and months if her shards are only available through the loyalty chests. Not that great of an officer for you to want to go and do that and put in that kind of effort, but we'll see. Again, there may be shards for her available in some other events at some other stage. We'll take a look at some of these officers, guys, before we get back into what the comments are about the Botany Bay. So there's Khan Noonien Singh. So this is the alt to the Harrison. Quite decent abilities there, guys, for attacking bases. So all of you pirates and all of you guys are going to be attacking bases, this would be a nice officer to unlock for those purposes. And who else have we got here? Okay, so there's Marla. Repair speed, fair enough. And stats on the captain by 50%. So she's not too exciting. She's not striking me as somebody there that would be my first choice. If her captain's ability were her secondary ability, I'd consider it. But the way she sits, not really that attractive. So we've got Joachim here. So he mitigates damage when attacking a station, but again, that's a captain's ability, so that would only be the case if you didn't have Can. Okay, but he's a nice synergy officer there to stick in with Can if you're attacking a station. But he looks like he'd be nice for attacking a station regardless of what crew setup you would be using. And Otto doing the same, again attacking defense platforms. So he would certainly be nice for that initial cracking open of a base. Doubt you would use him too much then once you're sending your miner in to drain it, because the ships will be gone, but the defense platforms are still there, so maybe that's the purpose for him. Critical hits on defense platforms and critical hit damage. So again, all complementary officers for the purposes there of attacking stations. So it looks like the whole Can thing is around raiding bases, attacking stations. And so Joaquin here is a miner. So he's all about that corrupted data and decoded data. That's his only purpose. And if we're going back to the discussion that with the guys that have been having around is the Botany Bay any good, those guys have gone and bought the pack and sped this up. They're saying if you have a higher level mining ship, stick that Joaquin boy on it, and your mining rates might actually be vastly greater than what you can expect from the Botany Bay, or certainly the Botany Bay at those lower levels before it's upgraded. So one of the suggestions, I think it was Admiral Janssen, I want to give a wee shout out to Admiral Janssen. I think it was him that suggested that, it might have been one of the other guys, but I think it was Admiral Janssen that suggested that attacking NPC stations would be a nice introduction into the game. I would be inclined to agree that you can raid NPC bases. That would certainly help with servers that have lower player populations, where a lot of people have become inactive and quit. Perhaps this whole Can thing, attacking bases, would be effective against in a PvE situation with bases, with NPC stations. I'm hopeful about that, but again, it's not something I hold my breath on. And just while we're discussing the other content creators, guys, I want to put something out to all of you guys. I'm nearly at 600, just over actually 600 subscribers there. And I want to thank everybody so much for the support and all, as always, but I want to throw out a question to you guys. Scopely have reached out and they've rescheduled the content creators conference call supposed to be happening. Guys like Sync, shout out to Sync. Sync has left that forum. I'm a little bit disappointed some of the guys have walked away from this forum, but they have other things to do and we have to respect that. There's a handful of us guys left in there in the content creators Discord with Panic. And that's been rescheduled for the following week. I'm unsure as to yet whether it's something I'll be able to make. My own schedule can be quite demanding, so we'll have to wait and see on that one. But in terms of any engagement with Scopely, guys, you guys are the ones that have been loyal and following me so far. Some of you guys have been sending me goodwill wishes and talking about how you'd love me to do some merchandise. Some of you guys are saying you said if I did have any merchandise, you'd use it, like in t-shirts and that kind of thing, mugs and mouse mats and stuff like that. There, I've never thought about merchandise. Maybe I'll go down that road at some point in the future. That's not something that's on my list of priorities right now, but it's something I might consider. And one of you guys actually went as far, and I want to thank her. She actually went and made me an Amergan Gaming mug. It's something I suppose I could replicate as well, but it was nice to receive this this week gift. And yeah, so as the channel grows, guys, and all you guys that follow Star Trek Fleet Command and a few other things, as you are following, giving support, I'd like your feedback. And what I'd like your feedback on is, would you prefer this style of kind of independent critiques of the product, where I guess I'm not beholden to Scopely in any regard at all, completely independent, defiantly so perhaps, in the sense of keeping it away from the development company and having the freedom to be completely honest and give a completely unbiased and uncolored view of the game? Or would you guys like to see me engage more with Scopely and potentially try to get some sort of advanced warning or advanced knowledge on where the game's going, perhaps some sort of support in terms of how we would suggest new content and things like that. So there's pros and cons to both approaches, guys. I'm not sold on either one being the only way to go. My natural instinct is to stay independent, do my own thing, but I'm certainly in there and I'm willing to have those discussions with Scopely and anybody else, networking with other content creators and that, and it's all been very positive and good crack so far. But you guys are the ones that have been following me and give me all the goodwill wishes and suggesting things like merchandise and all sorts of things that I'm not even there yet. So your views, guys, on whether that's the way to go or not, be very much appreciated hearing your comments. My preferred place for you to engage with that kind of discussion would of course be on my Discord. Come into my Discord channel and have that chat with me. But failing that, time allowing, of course, as always, I'll respond in the comments below if you feel that that's the only format in which you can engage with any of these conversations. So we'll keep moving on with some of these missions. A wee trick there, guys, you may have noticed, is when a mission line finishes and you are being asked to return to your station, I have a mining ship just outside of my station. What you can do there, you don't have to return that ship all the way back to your station to receive the rewards. You can leave the ship that was doing the mission sitting where it was, like I did with him. There's the jellyfish still in that station after finishing that set of storylines, about to start this one. So all I done was sent any other ship home to my station. Presumably that would work. Some of you guys can go and test it, let me know what happens. That if you're finishing a mission storyline and you have a ship docked in your station, send the ship out, bring it back into the station, should complete your mission for you. So test it out, guys. It certainly worked for me there in that invite. It was out mining nearby in my station, so that allowed me just to jump straight over here and start Joaquin's little bit of a storyline. So we collect quid pro quo rewards, more blueprints for this Botany Bay. And yeah, so the feeling is at the moment that other mining ships are actually going to be better for mining these corrupted data and different things. And you put the right guy on the bridge and all of that. Other people are saying that there's more missions to come to get deeper into that faction space. People are talking about upgrade costs and the way that it all starts with mining the materials and you have to refine those and buy plutonium and all of that whole thing. So we'll look at that in a later video. But if any of you guys have bought the pack and you're using the Botany Bay now, I'm more than happy for you to send me your screenshots on Discord or just to engage in the discussion again below. So here's our choice. We can take the parts by force. We'll do that. Some people are saying, yeah, typical HOM, but it's only a game. And here's the guy that we're going to have to kill, unfortunately. Now he may get away. Let's see what happens. So I think I'm going to finish this combat training veteran and bite the bullet, because my research will be done soon and I'll need dilithium for the next stage of research, which is something like 250-300,000 dilithium. So I might just have to bite the bullet and claim that. Some people are telling me that there's dilithium requirements once you start unlocking that faction space, so we'll see about that as well. Okay, so again, return the parts to your station. So instead of recalling that ship, I'm going to do the same thing again with the miner. He's 10 seconds out. We'll recall him instead. And we'll locate that and send the jellyfish straight over for that with no delay for having to return to the station and head out again or any of that carry on. There's that completed because that miner, that envoy, returned to the station. Okay, so 2 minutes out with that jellyfish. And once again, guys, the magic of editing, I'm able to string a load of these clips together without too much downtime in between. We'll send this envoy back out. We want to hold on to this node if we can. And magically the ship is there ready to take on this broken chains. So we can see this mission has a choice to make as well. It's got the little secrety box up in the corner. So this is dealing with the Orion Syndicate. So Khan's firmly embedded now into all the Nausicaan and Ragelian and Orion kind of stuff that's been going on in former missions of this game. They were all very, very much a part of those early sets of missions, if I remember correct. So now Khan is up to the same, carry on the Orions and all the rest of it are everywhere you go. So 10 hostiles. And once again, through the magic, I'll just make that happen all of a sudden like that. So Otto seems like he's a bit of a git. Okay, so we have to hit the man himself. This green fella. I think he forgot to take off the face paint after St. Patrick's Day. I think he was tuned into my live stream, drunk. They all look the same, them Orions though. Okay, so again I mentioned using the jellyfish gates. Lower repair costs than my higher level ships. Very, very fast in warp speeds and explorer. And very easily able to handle these things. So that's really the only situation I'll use jellyfish. It usually just sits in my hangar. Otherwise, unless I need to get around the galaxy fast and with little cost if the ship gets destroyed. Yeah, so Otto is a bit of a git. So I'm going to let him go. He's got a bit of an attitude compared to Khan. Okay. So that's only 16 seconds away. And there's no combat involved in that. So that was an easy orbital bombardment. And there we go, a bunch of Botany Bay blueprints, bringing me about 60% of the way to the Botany Bay. Okay, so for the final set, so instead of the jellyfish guys, I could be using like a Vaclus, for example, or probably even some of the lower ships like the Turris or something. If it were upgraded, would work equally as well for me. There are lower warp ranges on that, so I'm coming from Rator, so the jellyfish is just ideal. But if I were located in some of these lower systems, my base was located in these lower systems, then a Turris would likely do the job just as easily for me. So equal share is the last of these we need to complete. And generally shorter, they're not some of these progression missions where it just keeps going and going. These ones seem to just end, and there's only 4 parts on average to some of them, so very straightforward. And of course that ore and dilithium there, even though it's all very welcome, of course, like any freebies are nice, like, but not really any use to me at this stage. Botany Bay blueprints is all I'm after, 36 out of 60. So another 4 days, guys, and I'll have that built. If there's any other developments or progress in the meantime, I'll let you guys know. But until then, until my video with the Botany Bay, look after yourselves, and I'll catch all you guys again soon. Cheers.